All right, welcome ladies and gentlemen to Open Live Q&A. This is week number 91. My name is Mr. McLogan, and what I want to cover with you guys tonight before we get into your math questions is to give you a little bit of a sneak peek into my pre-calculus course. Now, this is the same pre-calculus course that I that I've been using inside of the classroom for the last, I don't know, probably 4 or 5 years. And then last year, as the kind of pandemic, kind of sprouted out and we needed that little distance learning, then I went ahead and kind of offered it out in there, kind of promoted it last year. So definitely some things that I've kind of changed about it for this upcoming year. Now that I've stepped away from the classroom, I had a little bit of extra time to get into it. So I'm very excited to go ahead and get into there, let you guys know some details for you. If you are interested in going checking out as I am talking, I believe I have I didn't put in the background from there. Sorry, that is just going to link out. I'll actually make sure that I put it in there for you guys. It is in the description, but I'll put it in the, I'll make sure I put it in the chat here for you guys as well. Therefore, if you guys want to go ahead and check it out and and kind of see, all this is a preview. It's absolutely completely free. Don't got to worry about anything like that. But it is a shorter picture of my actual pre-calculus course, which is not free. But I'll talk about that next week for you guys and kind of give you a little more details if it's something you're into. If not, whatever else. But I did want to say hello to everybody that is on here tonight. So good to see you on Miles and Vivian and Zara and Real Z. And I guess this is my name. That's a good one. And Addie, good to have you on. Combo you, I'm still a teacher. Well, I always consider myself a teacher at heart, but I guess assuming that you're asking about my teacher in a formal classroom, and this is the first year out of 14 years that I have actually officially stepped away from the classroom duties. And so, yeah, that's one thing I've been really kind of doing is working on some more content, which I haven't been able to really release yet on YouTube. I've just kind of been playing around with, my studio that I have here. But one of the things that I did want to do, I'll let you guys know of some new things that are coming up. And if you are following on my stories or in the community posts, you guys will be able to see some of that stuff that I am doing inside for my channel. And you guys will you'll see some more content hopefully coming out to help you guys, not just with pre-calculus. I love pre-calculus because that's one of the main courses that I taught for the last couple of years while I was a teacher. But it's not the only course that I have taught or created resources for. So I will be definitely coming out with some more content for you guys in other classes. So if you are not taking pre-calculus and you're kind of bummed looking for some more stuff, don't worry. I will be producing some content as well as some resources for those courses. Well, hello, Aiden, and thank you so much. And Elise, hello. Somali, thank you very much. And it's hard to learn online class, but a good thing I found. Yeah, it's online learning is difficult, guys. And that's one of the things that I wanted to kind of talk to you about is, it's very difficult. One of the things that I had a kind of a realization as a teacher is, so I've been making obviously online content. I've been recording videos since 2010, and I kind of created my course. And so my students, before COVID hit, they were taking my online course. Obviously, I still taught in the classroom just like I would teach anywhere else, but they had access to my online course. And so therefore, if they were sick in the hospital or they were going on vacation, whatever else, they would basically not miss a beat. And that was my way of also holding them accountable for learning the information. Even if they didn't understand instruction or if they're having a bad day, whatever may be the case, the content was available for them to be able to get help and to review it, whatever needed to be done. But one of the things, but it was always a supplement. And that's kind of where, I always kind of looked at the course for my students, because obviously I still taught inside the classroom, right? But when you start going live and having to teach in front of kids doing the online learning, it was very difficult. I really struggled with that as a teacher, even though I was so used to being in front of the camera, so used to recording my videos. There's a little bit of, I think, of a different energy that you have to create when you're kind of teaching all day in front of a camera. It was very difficult, and keeping your students engaged, not having that back and forth kind of commands. And even with masks, is very difficult to really kind of be able to connect with my students and really kind of sense when they were understanding things, when they weren't, when to speed up, when to slow down, how to articulate my explanations. And it was very tough. And obviously, for those of you that have been on my channel, that's not the whole reason why I stepped away. But it was definitely a component for some of my choices. But that's why I'm excited to offer my course into you guys. So therefore, a lot of people, if they want to know how I was as a teacher inside the classroom, or, what resources I did present to my students, I always came from the field of thought, I want to give you everything that I possibly can. So, I kind of have a balance here where I want to give you as much resources as you possibly need, but also, combat that with, I don't want to overwhelm you. I also want to get straight to the point and give you a little reduction. So I'll kind of show you guys what that kind of looks like. So therefore, if you are curious, inside the course, like I said, this is just a small snippet of my course. I do have it is a free chapter. So the limit. So of those of you in calculus, if you want to kind of see, maybe if you didn't learn limits last year in pre-calculus, if you just want to go ahead and take that chapter for free and kind of see how I taught limits. It's not AP style limits, but it is a good introduction for limits, to get you kind of prepared into your calculus curriculum. And then, or if you're just kind of interested from Algebra 2, what's something you're going to be covering from pre-calculus, then obviously this course is going to kind of highlight, I show you what content that I cover in my course, because yes, when I do release my course, it is a paid course. There is different levels of engagement that I have within the course. It's different than just videos that I offer for free. And obviously, if you're just looking for free content, I have a ton of free content already online, so don't worry about that. This is really looking for students that want a little bit of the extra resources that I offer within a course. And it's not going to be right for everybody, and I totally understand that. So that's why I just want to let you guys, kind of see what it is behind, kind of under the hood. And then obviously, as the year progresses, if it's something that you realize that you need, then that is there for you. All right. How to grow a beard, Matt. Yeah, I just didn't shave, so I'm not trying to grow a beard. But, I actually forgot to post the thing. So yes, I am. Let's get that out of the way. We'll put that on top. So yeah, I'm not trying to grow a beard. That's just from there. And do you have a course on college algebra? No, I do not have a course on college algebra, but I will be creating some more content on there. And I do plan on eventually getting to that, but that's not going to help you. And I do apologize for that, but I do plan on making some more content also in the college algebra realm for this year. All right. Thank you so much. Well, you're very happy, Rashid. I'm very happy to be able to help you out. All right. So a couple things. So let's go and take a look at, I do, guys, and also just want to let you know, I am very short on my questions for tonight. So if you are, let me go and see where this one was. There we go. If you do have some questions after I'm done with my two questions, if you want to ask them, then feel free to add them in the chat. We will we'll kind of play a little open Q&A like we usually do. All these questions, guys, are pre-submitted in the chat. You guys can see there should be a pinned. Yeah, there is a pinned chat, pinned link where either on the Discord or either on the Discord link or on my brianmclogan.com/Q&A, you can go ahead and access and submit your questions. So some weeks we have a lot of questions, and then this week we didn't have a lot of questions. So totally cool. I'll try to do my best answering Q&A questions, but it's always best when you guys are going to be having your questions submitted to me, that you guys can see that these questions. Whoa, didn't mean for that. How did I do that? That's cool. Huh. Why did that do it? I didn't even check with that. That's weird. Did I do this? Okay, this is weird. But so you guys can see I do have two questions here, 1 and 2. What the heck? Why does this happen on a live stream? I've never seen this before, and then all of a sudden this goes. So now I got to figure out what the heck is going on. Okay, that's cool. All right. That's kind of weird. Please go back to the original me. At least I only have one question. Oh, maybe wait a minute. That's weird. Okay, cool. So we only got 2 questions here, and these are pre-submitted, guys, for you. So let's go ahead and take a look. And also I do want to let you guys know, for those of you on the chat, I will be ways that I'm going to start doing as well. So if you've been on my live streams, you might have noticed I've been trying to do some giveaways and just kind of failing flat on my face, not being able to figure out why it's not working. And I finally figured out why it wasn't working. I can't work with them on the live chat, but it'd have to be on posted chat. So I will be doing some live streams on my Instagram as well as Instagram post, as well as my either community post, or I think yeah, on my community post from there. So I'll let you guys all know all the details. So if you don't already follow me on Instagram, you can just go and take a look from in there if you're interested. Basically, what I want to give away most awfully is a little bit of my time, just to be able to. I know a lot of students always ask me for private tutoring, and I am just against private tutoring. I don't want to spend my time or take money private tutoring. And so obviously there's some tutoring elements inside of my course that's a little bit different, but just doing one-on-one tutoring, it's not something I want to do, but I am happy to I do like speaking and like having those conversations with students. So that's one thing I want to kind of offer up. So we'll talk about that. Yes, I did accidentally multiply by 2. That was very weird. It was definitely something cool. All right. I'm doing pre-calc and it's pretty difficult. Well, I do have a couple things. I did want to let you guys know that if this link, my secondary link, if in addition to this, I gotta get my background. I didn't have time to be able to do this, but this is also my getting ready for pre-calculus. So if it is already difficult, then I make sure that you maybe go and check out my getting ready for pre-calculus. That will kind of go over a whole set of questions to get you kind of prepared as you are getting through the content. So hopefully that can check out. And anybody that is taking pre-calculus, and maybe, that is a completely free getting ready for pre-calculus course. So if you want to go and check that out, you can go ahead and do that as well. So let me go ahead and put that in the chat as well. Why did I not? There we go. I'll put that in chat for you guys as well. So this is getting ready for pre-calc. Well, thank you, Christy, so much for the super chat. Hey, I have a math question that I sent you on file. Well, did you send it early, Christy, or I got to go back now and find it? Because I always like to have these on thing. So let me see if I can find it now that you sent it. Since you gave me a open chat, I greatly appreciate that. And since I'm low on questions, I feel like I got to go ahead and get them in. Chrissy, you see your question up here? Is it either 1 or 2? I'm not sure which one. There's only, it looks like there's 4 more questions you guys keep on sending. All right, Chrissy, now I see yours. Oh, God. Okay, let's see. Typically, I'm not going to spend my time going through this. Can you give me an example? Was that yours? No, that wasn't yours. Let's do the next one then, Christy, see if I can answer it for you. Okay, well, I will go ahead and see about getting to your question. See how this opens up. Okay, I'm pretty sure I can help you out with that. Although I don't see. Okay, all right, I'll be able to look at yours. Yes, thank you so much for Addie and D+ in pre-calculus. Yeah, I've been there. So Suvi, I definitely know, I feel how you feel. So definitely can relate with you. And yeah, I mean, that's why obviously I have the, course is there for you guys, or also the getting ready for pre-calculus, or obviously if you can also just utilize my playlist where I have a ton of videos, guys. I have over 11,000 videos, so I have a ton of stuff available for you. Well, thank you so much, Duncan. I greatly appreciate that. All right. Oh, awesome. And I got another super chat. Well, thank you very much for trigonometric functions. AP Pre-Calculus has a whole unit on matrices. Yes, that's very interesting. I'd actually have to go and take a look at that. Because yeah, I never had to cover matrices in my pre-calculus, but when I was in high school, I covered matrices. So that's probably something I'm gonna have to grow into creating as far as my content. But it's just not something I currently have taught from. So I'd have to go back and kind of create the content from the bottom. But thank you so much for the super chat. I greatly appreciate that. And that's really good information to know. Well, thank you, Deborah. Who gave an impression in this? Damn. That's a funny comment. Thank you very much. Oh, and also, I also mentioned to you guys the one last thing that I wanted to cover with you guys is also, I mentioned it last week, but obviously last week I am doing my million subscriber video that's going to come up. So I'm going to keep on letting you guys know about this. But if you guys have not submitted anything, or you want to submit a a photo or a picture or just a quick little video, congratulations, or just a comment or whatever may be the case, I'm going to be compiling, putting something together on that. And I would love to be able to have any other submissions. So I've already got some great submissions so far, and I'm just going to keep on promoting it until it's done. So we're probably going to, probably for the next 3 or 4 weeks, letting you guys know about it. So just something, if you want to, don't have to do it at all, but I definitely appreciate all of you that stop by on my live streams, say hi, all your comments, or if you guys are showing up on obviously the live stream as well. So let's go ahead and take a look at the inside the course, and then we'll get to some of your guys' questions, because I do see you guys are on there as well. So I am actually going to turn this on to subscriber, even though I see Addie is on here. I'm going to just turn this over to a subscriber only chat, to just kind of limit the spam questions, even though you guys have been doing amazing so far. I don't think we have seen any spams get popped up, but it's always easier when I am going to be kind of going on to teaching mode and not looking at the chat, that I don't have to follow, like checking, because not everybody is not everybody is always behaving as we always want them to. So I'm going to turn on the subscriber chat. I will go back to anyone chat once I get done with that. So let's go and take a look at this course that we got going on here. Oh, Kristen, let me turn that off. There we go. All right, so that is for the subscriber video. Get that one off. Get that one off. Let's go ahead and put this on. Where is this? There we go. Okay. So, guys. Okay. So let's let me get back over to it. Sorry from that. Oh no, I hate this. Bam. All right. Oh no, crap, it's not showing back then. Maybe I can just do this. I forgot I have my crop screen. Come on. Okay. Stop. Oh, that's it. Okay. No, not that. Come on. View. There you go. Okay. Crap. Sorry about that, guys. My bad. Let's go ahead and preview. Get in there. There you go. Preview. I got to open up because I'm only a part of Odyssey and I want to see you guys to see all of it. So if you guys can only see half of it, that's not going to help you out very much. Okay. So just want to let you guys, just kind of give you guys an idea of how this works, everything from there. So a lot of, at least my course. Now, again, this isn't going to show you anything that's on there. So we just have, these are the chapter topics. And again, yes, I do not have anything on matrices. So if that's something you're looking on, this course is not really going to cover anything from there. But functions, polynomials, rational functions, trigonometry. I do have a semester exam portion of that. And then analytic trig, applications of trig, conic sections, and the limit. So the limit is actually fully prepared now, or fully ready for you guys to go and view. So I'm not going to click on it. I'm not going to go through it. Obviously, guys, it's free to sign up. If you don't want to take a look at it, go ahead and take a look at it. Look through the content, download it, use it, watch it. Whatever you guys want to go ahead and do to be able to help you with your understanding. So the limit, I basically teach it as the continuity, general limit, left and right hand limits, and limits at infinity. Basically what we do is I kind of have a little introduction. Typically, when I was teaching in the classroom, I'd always kind of do that investigation, or just kind of the introduction to the day's lesson. And sometimes these would be short, sometimes these would be long, but I kind of, every single lesson, I always try to have it make real sense to the students, and something that they can connect with no matter where they are in the core, or whatever the background is. And then I have some formal notes, and these notes are very condensed, but I also have guided notes, which are going to be much more expanded. So if you're looking for a very detailed and long lot of examples, then I have that available to you. I also have a very here's just exactly what you need to know and a couple examples to kind of move on. And then obviously I cover like the examples, which we call like the processes, like what are the main things that we're going to do with learning the general limit, or in this case, doing continuity. We're going to look at those examples. So let me actually click on this so you guys can kind of see. So if you go to like notes, you guys can see there's, this is the video, 40 minutes. It's a little bit longer than most of my other videos, but you can see like I'm covering a lot of examples. There's the notes, the answers, the guided notes, answers. So there's a lot that's definitely going on with that. When you get into the examples, you're basically seeing going through multiple problems, and then you can see I also have the answers prepared for you guys. Then I also have homework, which is kind of like more practice. In the homework, I have free response and multiple choice. And then, of course, I have a video of me explaining it. So everything that I do and have provided inside the course, there's a video of me going through it as well as answers. So therefore, a lot of people don't have time to watch a video, which I totally get. They just want to look at the answers and kind of see if they can make sense of it. Perfect. Some people really struggle with making sense of the answers or what to do, so they need to watch that video for the kind of step-by-step. Perfect as well. And then for after every lesson, there's like a little quick quiz where you guys can just kind of do some online problems where you can just basically do some free response questions. Multiple choice questions to kind of get some practice on there. And in addition to all of this, I also have in addition to like these little short quizzes, I also have my longer quizzes. So what you're going to get is, in addition, you'll get my regular quiz that I offer. So typically every 3 to 4 units, I would have like a quiz for my students. I don't know why it's not showing up for there. But I might not have published it on the admin side. But I typically have quizzes. I have every year, I was always producing quizzes. So therefore, if you want to see last year's quiz and the answers, and again, it's going to provide you with a video of me working through those answers, as well as the answers, the worked out solutions. And in addition to a test, as well as the review. The thumbnails are not showing up, so I'll have to go back and check those. I thought everything was ready, but I guess maybe not all the way same. So therefore, yeah, guys, it's a lot of problems. I mean, this is a lot of problems, a lot of examples for you to get. But again, as some people mentioned, like it's never going to have everything that you're going to need, right? Pre-calculus is a collection of topics to get you prepared for calculus, but there are going to be different courses and different courses or, schools that are going to have a little bit of variation for that. So that's why I wanted to provide it to everybody, so therefore you can spend the time, look over what is provided inside this course, make sure it's going to cover exactly what you need. And hopefully if it is, then, you can, we'll talk about the main course next week. Maybe if you just want to look at the limit and see if it's right fit, then go from there. Either way, guys, it's basically there for you guys. That is why I created it. And, because I want people to be able to get help. And I know a lot of people just get help with the pre-calc or with my online videos, which is awesome. But I also know a lot of students really, really struggle and they really want that extra kind of attention, that extra help, and those extra examples. Well, that's what this course is basically. Because this is, if you want to see what I was like as a teacher, that's what this course provides from there. So I will get into, Jack said, this example is completely free. I will talk about the full course and all the kind of bonuses and everything else that I have going on with that, or what everything includes. I'll talk about that all next week. I'm not ready yet to kind of have everything packaged together for you. So I'll talk all about that next week if you're interested in it. If not, totally cool. Totally understand. I know there's a lot going on, and I know, everybody's year is going to be kind of going, through ebbs and flows, ups and downs. Pre-calc's easy, pre-calc's hard, easy, hard, and everything from there. Well, thank you very much. I love vaping. How come you never teach AP stats? Well, I never really wanted to teach AP stats, I just, never. I think there is much more of a potential in AP statistics now than there ever has been. And there is a little bit of regret on my side, wishing that, hey, I wish I could do more. I wish I would have done more, or had that opportunity to teach more with that. But yeah, that's one of those things now where since I've stepped out of the classroom, I can only focus on what I'm teaching. Right. And I was the department head for a while, and if I really want to teach AP stats, I probably could have made a good case for it, but it's a lot of work, especially when you're not used to a course, teaching it, then it's a lot of work. I mean, I remember the first time I taught AP calculus. I mean, even though I have a math degree, but you haven't taught something in years, or I never taught calculus. I took calculus, but I never taught it. It was a lot of work. And then you're doing the AP and the grading and all that kind of stuff. Like, it's a big demand. And so AP statistics would have been the same way, probably even just a little bit larger of a learning curve, based on my, statistic knowledge compared to my calculus knowledge, and what I taught. Well, thank you, Jarlax, for again another super chat. Awesome. Really appreciate that. I'm not in school, but I've developed love for math, so I'd love that you pay for this. Well, thank you so much. So please go ahead and take a look at the, from there or the free, example that I have. And then, I'll definitely have everything going up, available for you guys, next week, and you can kind of really see everything. And again, guys, I'm here. I want people to learn and get experience, get examples and understand things. So, if it's not the right fit, then it's not the right fit, and it's, I'll talk about all those kind of things for you guys as well. I'll have a lot going on, from there. So I'm actually in AP Calc right now, and my teacher is horrible. I'm sorry to hear about that. But yeah, I know it's a lot of, it's a lot of change. It's a lot going on to go through. And, this year, even last year, it kind of feels like, last year there's one. And then I think what the harder thing too, again, with this year is that, from a lot of the learning losses that students have even had from the previous years. I remember teaching in the classroom, like, my students did not learn as much as I wanted them to learn, and inside the classroom. I mean, we were basically inside the classroom almost the whole year. And I know my students did not learn as much as I wanted them to learn. So I know it's tough. So, all right, guys, what I'm going to do is I'm going to go and cover these two questions that I have, and then I'll get to any of your guys' questions inside the chat. So, and I see that, I know Chrissy added an extra chat. Thank you again for the super chat. And if you guys are interested in submitting a question for next week, please note again, guys, each and every week, I always do send out a email reminding you of the live stream, but you guys can also go ahead and submit a chat on the, brianmclogan.com/Q&A, which is pinned in the chat. Or you can also go and get help on the Discord server, which I'll post the link here as well, in case you guys are interested in getting help throughout the whole year. So go ahead and take a look at those two links. The one is going to submit questions each and every Sunday. That's where I get my questions from, as well as Discord is a community of students helping each other to be able to get better at their math. Do you have classes on sequence series? I do not have classes on sequence and series, James, but I do have plenty of videos from, a lot of times that was in most of my Algebra 2, and we used to have it in pre-calculus. So that might be something I'll be adding to the pre-calculus curriculum, kind of like with matrices, but I do have some older videos from when I taught inside the classroom on that. And Aaron says, what would you review for a full test on geometry? Well, Aaron, I am actually going to be getting into some content on that. As far as for every chapter, I will be doing some reviews, kind of some cram sessions. So I will let you, I'll let you know about that coming up. I am 5'9". Thanks, Zach. All right, guys, let's go ahead and do some of the math, and then let's go and do these two math questions, or at least kind of talk about them. I don't think there's too much, and then I'll go and get to your guys. I'll get to your guys' questions, or I'll get to adding any other questions that you guys have from there. If you have them on the, what's available on the course, or just math, or just learning, whatever in general. So this question, I can't remember actually what the student, I think the student was asking, like, why are you using less than or equal to whatever else? Okay. So looks like we have three things. So I think the student understood the slope, and then, so if we keep on continuing the slope, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Okay. So we can kind of follow this and see that, yes, these two lines are going to connect there. And that's why they have the y-intercept. Now, the student, though, had the question of why is this less than, and why is this greater than or equal to, or less than or equal to, which is a fair question, because you could also rewrite the question. Again, I don't think it really matters, but you could also rewrite it like this: 3x plus 10 is less than or equal to -2. And then this one would be 4. Why did I do plus 10? There you go. This one would be 4, and then it'd be a negative 2 is less than x, which is less than 2. And then this one would be negative 3x plus 10. And then this could be greater than or equal to 2. Because the main important thing is you can't have, obviously for a function to pass the vertical line test, you can't have two things equal at the same value. So what this is saying is at negative 2, this function is less than. It's not less than or equal to. But at negative 2 here, right? So you can see here's negative 2, right? So what happens is if I say 3x plus 10, if I was to graph this, x is less than negative 2. So what I do is I do an open circle and then negative 2. And then this one is 3x plus 10 where x is greater than 2. So again, that'd be an open circle going down. Now what's happening here is when I do 4 and I do negative 2 is less than or equal to x, what that's going to do is that's filling in the dot. Filling in the dot there. So therefore you can see how it is a continuous function from that case. Now, in this case, in this problem, it would be the exact same thing. And let me just erase that because I don't want to overly confuse people thinking it's not a function. Now, over here, we could do the same thing. We could say, well, I could say less than or equal to here, and then greater than or equal to here. And then this one is going to be open circle and open circle. And you can see by doing the open circle and the closed circle, I have my function is defined for only one value. So it's very important when you're doing piecewise functions that only one function is going to be defined at these kind of restriction points. Okay. Question number 2, can you give me an example of, and I'm not sure because what the student was asking, I believe, and I'm not sure if the student is on, but they have x minus 3 all over x. I believe like that's their function. And maybe the student was asking like, what is f of 3 or what is f of 1? It was kind of hard. A lot of times you can obviously submit your like a picture of there because I'm not sure what f of 1, if that's what that equals, and then what f of 3 be, because you're evaluating the function for at 1. So if I were to put 1 in for x here, because that's what you're plugging in. When you do when you're evaluating a function f of x for 1, you're replacing x with 1 or whatever the input, whatever the variable is for the input value. So now you can go ahead and simplify. 1 minus 3 is negative 2 over 1, which is just a negative 2. And so if I was going to plug in f of 3, that'd be a 3 minus 3 over 3. So 3 minus 3 is obviously a 0 over 3, which is just going to be 0. Okay. And Christy did give me a 1 on my super. Oh, this is all. How tall are you? Kept on leaving that on there. Good check. All right. So let's go and see what Christy sent to me. Whoa, not that. Okay. Ooh, okay. At least one of them is not correct. So let's go and take a look at what we got here. Some good trig. There we go. Okay, so it says evaluate the following expressions. Your answer must be an angle between pi halves and pi. Okay, so let's figure out where pi halves and pi is. So pi halves is here, and here's pi. Okay, so what we're doing is we're looking for only answers that satisfy these values, or only angles that satisfy these values between pi halves and pi. Oh, I'm sorry, that's negative pi halves and pi. I am not paying attention. So that's probably where you might be getting confused. So we're looking for angles on the unit circle that are going to satisfy these inverse functions between negative pi halves and pi. Wait a minute. Okay, so it has to be greater than negative pi halves, but it has to be, okay, so not going to be there. So sorry about this. All right. Okay, so it has to be greater than negative pi halves. So that's going to go this way, but it has to be less than pi. So it's going to be between these three. Okay, right? And that would satisfy because they're not going to be anything negative. So this one is the correct one, so pi halves, but you gave an answer in degrees when it should have been in radians. So I would change that to pi over 4. square root of 3 over 2 as far as looking at that coordinate point. So when you're doing the sine inverse, again, yeah, you're looking for what is the angle that produces the sine of what angle, right? Because this is what we're looking for. The sine of what angle theta equals square root of 3 over 2. Like that's basically what that's asking, right? So that angle is going to be 60 degrees, which you're right. But again, it's looking for angles in radians. So that's where you made your mistake. Pi over 3. Cosine 1. There you go. Radians and degrees is going to be the same. And then this one, yeah, you're using degrees. So that was your mistake, Chrissy. Don't worry. You're not doing too bad. Now this one actually, a couple things are going wrong. You have 120 degrees. 120 degrees is over here, right? So, oh, actually that would work. Never mind. I was thinking negative. Yeah. So cosine equals -1/2. That's going to be there. That is the correct angle, but it'd be 2 pi over 3. So good job. You got them right. You just got the degrees wrong. All right, guys, let's go and get into some of your questions for you. And yeah, I'll see if my wife will answer that question. See if she is on the live stream following, just being there to post on or to follow, keep you guys honest in your chat. All right, so yeah, we'll go ahead and go those questions for you guys. Anybody has any more questions from me? I guess my wife hasn't gone in there. There we go. Awesome. All right, so we'll get to some of your guys' questions and then I will add in for there. So again, if you guys are interested, let me go and cover those again real quick. For those of you that are interested in the in my course, or at least the preview on my course or the free limits, then I do have that link here, which I'll go ahead and put on the chat for you guys to go ahead and take a look at. So that's basically a preview of my course and a free chapter on the limit to do any learning that you guys want to, free on me for you guys on that. If you are interested in if you're kind of already struggling with pre-calculus and you're like, hey, I'm not sure if I'm ready and prepared for this, I kind of need some more help as I'm going through the year, then I do have a get ready for pre-calculus, which basically gives you like fundamentals. Oh, I'm sorry, I should have wrote that. That kind of goes over the fundamentals that you're going to want to need. That is in there. And then last but not least is my live stream for my 1,000,000 subscriber video that I'd love any of you that you guys are on to go ahead and add in anything here. Boom, boom. Awesome. Well, thank you very much, Cookie. I greatly appreciate that. Whew. All right. Who's that, Matt Laurie? Hey, Teach, how you doing? I'm doing very well, Jazz. Thank you very much. Imagine being your pre-calc. All right. I'll just leave hours and 3 hours. I'm not sure. Okay. Oh. Let's go ahead and turn this back on the chat for you guys. For all of you non-subscribers, I don't know why I should let you guys back in. I'm just joking with you. Actually, majority of people are non-subscribers. They just watch my content and don't subscribe, which I appreciate you guys all. I'm just joking, but from there. All right, let's go and look at some of these questions. Farhan says, how can I focus and be motivated when I have an important exam? Well, if it's not important to you and you're not motivated, then, you really got to look into that and see why is it, that I'm not motivated for this. I mean, you can obviously trick yourself in there. You can, give yourself some ways to make things feel like important. But I mean, if it's not important, if you don't feel like it's being important to you, then, I'd maybe look down and kind of investigate that a little bit more and kind of see why you don't feel like you're taking it seriously, why you're not motivated to do it. But I think the main, I think for anything, if it is something, it's like, hey, I just got to get it over with, right? I've had to do things and study for things I didn't want to really study for. Weren't my passion, take things as a little bit by chunk and try to do them consistently over and over. And rather than procrastinating, waiting until the very, very end, from there. Oh, Mr. Brand, that wasn't my question. Oh. All right, Chrissy, I'll have to go and see. I apologize for that. Well, hopefully my question that I answered then was helpful for anybody. I got geometry test. Well, good luck. You got it. A canoe's velocity. Christy, I'm not gonna cover from this. I'll have to go and take a look at, see what else I can add. Canoe's velocity southeast relative to the earth. The canoe is on a river that's flowing east. The direction of velocity of the canoe relative to the river. I'd have to go back and let me just go and see. This is why I always hate taking word problems going like, because I gotta like look through this. Did you submit it to me on my open live so I can see it? Only the third is right. Yeah, well. Oh, that wasn't you. You're right. Okay. I know I saw yours. There you go. Sorry, Chrissy. Well, hopefully whoever's question that was helped them. The canoe is on a river that is flowing. Oh, okay, so you got a river that is flowing. So at meters per second east relative to the earth. Has a velocity southeast relative to the earth. And what are you trying to find? So I think you're trying to like add those two vectors. So I have to be a check. It's kind of a little difficult, Chrissy. I'll give you a little hint though from this, and at least what to be able to do. If I'm understanding your question correctly, which again, I definitely could not. So that's why I always like doing questions not on the chat. But if I have this correct, at least in my understanding, so but you have a canoe velocity. So the southeast, I'm going to be taking that as a relative to this earth is going to be going down in this direction, right? At a negative 45 is southeast direction, right? So you want to make sure you have the correct angle on that. And then also you have another vector that's going to be at meters per second east relative to this. So you have these two vectors, which I'm assuming you want to be able to find this final velocity of the vector, right? So this one is going to be at 0.43 and this one is at 0.64. So what you're going to want to use is use the vectors for your angles and velocity. Now this one is at 0 degrees. So what I do is this one would be 0.64 times the cosine of 0 degrees, sine of 0 degrees. And then this vector is going to be at 0.43. And then this is going to be the cosine of negative 45 degrees. Let me actually fix that. I'll put these in parentheses. And then the sine of negative 45 degrees. Okay. And then what you're going to want to do is evaluate those and then add your horizontal components and your vertical components together. And that will give you your final vector in component form. And then from there, you can go ahead and find the direction as well as the final velocity, which will be the magnitude of that vector. So find the direction and the velocity of the canoe relative to the river. Yeah. So that's what you would basically do. So let me know if that is helpful from there. You're basically going to, I don't have my calculator with me. So, but you're basically going to evaluate these, add those horizontal components, add my two vertical components, make sure you distribute, right? And then what you'll do is you'll get a value inside there. That value, then you can find the magnitude and the direction from there. So please let me know if that's open. Chat is not open ever. Hey, I opened it up to everyone. All right. All right, let's go. I know, seriously, non-subscriber. Oh, I'm sorry. Sorry about that, Chris. I forgot I was doing a show. So, embarrassing me. Just taught a whole bunch of things and didn't even show you guys. So here's Chrissy's question. Here is the canoe relative to the river. So you have the river and you have the canoe. So just make sure when you're doing the negative 45 degrees, it's going southwest, right? And then you have this 0 degrees going east. What you're going to want to do is compare a angle. What you would do is the form that I'm using is what we call like the magnitude of a vector times the cosine of theta, sine of theta. Okay, this is called magnitude direction form. So that's what that's basically what I'm doing. I'm taking the magnitude and the direction, and I'm using 0 degrees and negative 45 degrees. And then what you're going to do is get them both in component form, and then you're just going to combine the two vectors to get your final vector. And from there, you can find the angle and direction. So apologize for that, guys. Run that. All right, so I'm just going to go through a skip because I'm sorry, guys, I got to skip through. And hey, Brianna, I've been watching you since 9th grade. You made life so much easier. Well, it's very happy to be able to help you out. Christy, let me know if that was helpful. Sorry about that. That was embarrassing. I am still not getting used to this. All right. Yemi says, how do you solve f of 2x equals negative x from there? So I wonder if I could. No way. Oh, okay. Dang it. I was hoping that would do. All right. So let's see. What question was that? That was 3. All right, let's go to 4. So f of 2x is equal to a negative x plus 6. Okay. So just like we did up here, whatever you have for your input value, that's what you're just going to plug in for your input variable, which in this case is x. So my input is going to be the same as my variable. But again, we're just going to replace my x with whatever's inside my as my input here. So therefore, this is going to be a negative 2x plus 6. Okay, well, you can just make that a negative 2x plus 6. Calculus in college is so hard. Any tips not to feel down? Yeah, math is not a race. Don't worry about it if it's not making sense. Keep on working hard. It's difficult. I mean, as I mentioned, guys, when I was talking about my course, like online learning is hard, or going back to learning from online learning last year is hard. Math is hard. And so, don't beat yourself up on it. Keep on getting work, get help, put in the work, put in the effort. But also know that like it's okay if you have some time to struggle, like put in the best effort that you possibly can, and if you need to take a break or take the course later or whatever else, like math is not a race. But you gotta be honest with yourself. If you're prepared for it, you gotta be honest with, are you doing everything you possibly can? A lot of times when I ask students, are you doing everything you possibly can do to do well in my class? Like if they're really being honest with themselves, then they kind of clam up and they say, there's more I could do. And I was like, yeah, I know there's more you can do. Right. And that's the point where I want to do. I don't want you giving up on the course or giving up on your ability to learn if you feel like you haven't really given it your best shot of the course. And again, let's say that is true. Let's say you've done everything you feel you possibly could do and the course is still like just beating you up. Then yeah, that's fine. Like, get out of it. Take it next year, take it next semester, take it next, whatever may be the case. Like you can still learn math. Don't let one bad opportunity have it, but you got to make sure you're putting in that work and giving it a fair shot before you making that decision. All right. Well, yeah, I guess before I get off your question, you're going to do the same thing. What if I said, what if you do f of 1? What are you going to do? You're going to plug 1 in for 6, right? What if I said f of star? What are you going to do? You're going to put a star in for there, right? So you'd have a negative star plus 6. So if you say, what about if f of 1 plus x? Well, then do the same thing. You're plugging whatever's inside of there into as for the x, or inside the parentheses. Now here you got to make sure you distribute that. So that's a negative x minus 1 plus 6. So that's a negative x, plus 5. There you go. Yes, Jackie, I can only imagine the AP from on there. But yes, just keep working, keep your eye. But I can definitely understand. It's I can feel your pain on that. Well, I am very happy to be able to help you out. Prasla. Something. Sorry, apologies for that, but I had to give it a shot. Itazali. I had to go and give it a shot. I always used to bomb people's names when I was teaching in a classroom, so I apologize for doing that with you, but I always felt like I owed it to you at least to give you my best shot from there. Just says, Ms. McLogan, did you get my sticker I had done with the other live streamer and they did not get it. So I only did a small one. Did you, wait, you said, get my sticker. I had done this with the other live stream. I got one sticker. I got a sticker a while ago, or I'm not sure if it was last stream or the stream before, but I did get a sticker from on there. But I don't recall. I don't remember if it was on your. I have to go back and look on the back end. Well, awesome, Matt. I'm very happy to be able to help you out from there. Wow, twin bag. Awesome to be able to help you out. Sweet. All right. How do you find FX? I already just F2X. I already did that with you guys. What are you talking about? Justin coming out with the heavy hitter questions. What quality makes a bad teacher bad? I can't just give a short, quick response on this one. I got to make sure I'm thinking about this. I think a bad teacher, good question. Jeez. Now you got to make me think about this. What quality makes a bad teacher bad? I think, because I mean, you can have teachers that are, maybe not effective, but they mean well, right? And, they, but they're not technically bad teachers. I mean, because I think it's always, people are always going to resonate with different teachers and their different learning, how people explain things and how they approach content and approach learning and approach instruction. So I think that's always going to, I don't want to go down that realm because there's always going to be people that are going to deviate one side or to another. But I think as far as what makes a bad teacher, at least as far as on my mind, is I would just go through, I think that the ability for the teacher not to, I think the quality, I think for teachers, not, it's tough because there's some things that I feel like what makes a good teacher, but that doesn't necessarily mean if you don't do this, you're a bad teacher, I think I'll just kind of do an overarching statement that I would say from that is a student being able to listen to the students and be able to adjust their instruction, from on there. And I think that I don't want to say that makes you a bad teacher, but I think a lot of times when it's kind of tough, I think that when you're not willing to, grow and continue your ability to instruct, then it becomes, I wouldn't say it's kind of hard. I don't want to paint anybody as a bad teacher for, teaching the same things, but I think that's, I don't know, man. I'm going to have to come back to that question. What makes a bad teacher? I'm going to have to think about that because I think about my course, a lot of my courses, a lot of stuff is the same, but a lot of the stuff is changed every year. I'm always changing. I'm always adjusting, but I don't think that necessarily makes you a bad teacher just because you're not, changing things. I think it is important to be listening to your students. I think it's important to I think it's important to be adjusting your curriculum and your instruction based on the kind of needs of your students. And I think maybe, but I think where I'm going to keep it as far as on that, I don't want to paint as far as the negative side of it, because that's a lot more actually difficult to answer than I thought it was going to be. So I might have to circle back with some more thoughts on that. I'm going to actually write that down. Because what quality makes a bad teacher? Got me stuck. Thank you, Justin. Appreciate that. Anonymous. I bet Anonymous is not a subscriber from on there. Because Anonymous is the reason why we have those subscriber chats. From on that. No, what the heck? There we go. All right. I'm going to have a great week. Well, sorry, you too. Yes, I can talk about those. Cam, I'll go and get to those questions. Describe the transformations. All right. That'll probably be my last questions. Oh, crap. It's already 10 o'clock. All right. I will do these as my last questions, but I will talk about a little bit on this. So what was those 2 questions? All right, so we have y equals, I'm assuming this is e to the 5 minus x, and then this one is y equals cosine of 7x plus 5. Okay. Good questions. A bad teacher. Oh, I did got a question. I'll take this. A bad teacher is ultimately a subjective thing. Yeah, a teacher can be bad in some students' eyes, but yeah, I mean, and I think that's what kind of swapped me up is like, it's very subjective, you know, and I wanted to kind of come with something absolute like that I do. But again, like just be, you know, everything that I started to reason with, I don't think necessarily is always the, you know, those are like qualities that, again, subjectively, that I feel like every teacher should be or what teaching should be about. But it is kind of interesting that I don't think that just necessarily makes, you know, of course you can be a bad person. You know, you can think of it as like, you know, if you're a bad person or do bad things, like, of course you're a bad teacher, you know, or I mean, like you can, you know, you can equate it like that. You can kind of make those kind of justifications, but, you know, really kind of from the teaching perspective, it was, yeah, it's a lot of subjectivity on that. I love math. Of course, I show up every Sunday night and do some math. Lark, I'll have to go back and look at that. I got your question. I do appreciate that. And I apologize from there. I'm not sure on the cube root of the I, like obviously, the square root. Never mind. I thought you had the cube root. Find the cube roots of square root 27i. Yeah, sorry. That's not something I was available or I've done. I'd have to go back and look at and spend some time. So I apologize for that. It's not something I'd have to go back and like review, looking through that. So I apologize for that. I did get your question though. Do a lot of practice problems, Ariel. Practice. All right. See you later, Justin. Thank you so much. Master nobody. We'll go and see. I'm probably not going to be able to do a lot of, book masters from there. Practice or you can practice and review a lot of your content and make sure you do like practice groups and everything like that. Do practical domain and range in word problems? Yeah, I mean, submit a question. I don't have time to go over those right now, but if you want to put those in the brianmclogan.com/Q&A, also in the description, you can definitely go and do that. Yes, Cam, I will get to your question in a second. I have it written down. I don't know, Jacob. Go ahead and maybe pre-calculus. I'm assuming that's kind of like what's after integrated 3, but talk to your guidance counselor, talk to your math professor. How did you learn to do math? I took math classes, I guess, and practiced a lot. I really did. I had to practice and, you know, got help and stuff like that. So the obviously part of the instruction and then doing the work, that was really important. All right. How would you recommend coping with a very fast-paced math class? I'm taking Algebra 2 and Trig right now, and we have a test every week or something. Yeah, it's tough. I mean, I don't know, but in a skill, it's like you got to be honest with yourself as far as your time commitments, when you can study, when you can put in the time work. I'm assuming if you're taking this class, you're probably taking some other classes that are going to be fast-paced and time demanding. So I think you just got to be organized with your time, organized and realistic with what you need to do for each of your courses, how much time you need to put into them, and you know, and just kind of be honest with yourself and what you're capable of and what you can do. I also think it's important to, you know, to realize that, you know, put the most amount of time in the most important classes, right? You know, if you're going to try to put, I always kind of, you know, think about it when you're doing, actually, I've never used this analogy before, but I'll do it for you now, is like, sometimes when you know, retirement fund or something, and you have 100% of your money, right? Let's say you have $5,000 and it's like, okay, where do you want to invest this money? Well, you want to say, oh, I want to put all 100% of my investments in this stock, right? Or like an index fund or whatever. Just keep things simple. Let's call them stocks. And then you might say, well, no, that's, you know, I should diversify. So maybe I'll do, 25 in this, or 20% in this one, and I'll do 40% in this one, and then 40% in that one, right? You split up, but always it has to add up to 100, right? Well, the same thing, kind of like your workload. Like you're not going to be be able to initially put like 100% all into one class, right? And then just not, and then totally don't pay any attention to your other classes, right? I mean, that's just not realistic. You're going to have to divvy up your time, your attention. And some of those classes might be a little more difficult, and you might have to put in more time compared to another class. Some of those courses may be more important to you than another class, right? You might need your mathematics and you might not need an English, everything. So it's okay to get a B in one class, but you really need to get an A in another class. Like, be aware of that kind of thing. Because yeah, if you're doing all fast-paced classes and you're trying to get all A's, and it's just taking up all your time, it's going to be a miserable experience. And well, not always, but for most students, it's going to be a miserable experience. And I'm not always sure, you gotta make sure that's exactly what you're looking for and what you want to do. All right. Essential pre-calc skill for Calc 1. I would just say trig, just to kind of be vague. I have only taught in one school. My one and only school, Mandarin High. Algebra very hard? It could be. It's all kind of, again, subjective for there. What is e to the power of x? That is the exponential function. Practice, practice, practice. Ask questions, ask questions, ask questions. I'm in LP right now. Can you go over the rules of limits to infinity with radical functions? No, I can't, but you can definitely go and take a look at. I don't have them off the top of my head. I haven't. I'm going to plan on going in through some more calculus stuff. But if you definitely go and look at I have a playlist on the limit. I have a ton of examples. So hopefully I probably have an example of everything you're looking for in there. Sorry, Justin, I am done with the questions, but I would recommend solving. That's a good one. It can be. I think it kind of depends on the instruction and the teacher and the course and the chapter and everything. All right, third time's a charm. Can you shout out Mr. Hamilton from WB? What's up, Mr. Hamilton from WB? All right. I can go through a lot. I can see you guys asking a lot of questions. I never took the geometry EOC. Okay, I got a lot of questions. Go through, you guys. Well, hello, Amit and Molly. Oh, that was from somebody else. Challenge for you because I'm not used to going into units very quick, and it's very hard for me. By the end of the day, I feel happy. Yes, I can definitely relate. The weather is actually really good. It's actually starting to cool down a little bit, so it's been actually really, really nice from that. All right, guys, I am going to cover these two questions, and then we'll go. Again, guys, if you're interested in taking a look at the course, I have the link in the description. If you are interested in getting ready for pre-calculus, the diagnostic test, and all the resources I have to help you prepare for pre-calculus, it's in the description. If you have questions that you want me to answer on my next live stream, or you want to go and join the Discord community to post questions, answer questions, help people out with their questions, go ahead and check the link again in the description. And if you are interested in submitting a little video, a picture, or a comment for my 1,000,000 subscriber video, then you can go and check the link also in the description on there. So, all right, guys, these two questions come from this idea of this function here, f of b to the x minus c. Okay, or you could use h, whatever may be the case. But the main important thing is when we have horizontal transformations, it's got to look like in this form. Okay, so what we got to do is we got to be able to factor out the b, because what the b does is the b is a horizontal stretch or compression. So it's either a horizontal stretch if it is a less than 1, greater than 0, and it's a horizontal compression if it is larger than 1. What the c does, so this is going to be a horizontal, I'm just going to call it stretch or compression. I guess I probably don't need Kyle's comment in there anymore. Okay, and then the C is going to be a horizontal shift. Okay, so that's going to be shifting it left to right. And again, the formula is x minus c. So c, the value of c, you can also think of that as like in its own parentheses, okay? So if c, the inside the parentheses, c is positive, you're shifting to the right. If c is negative, you're shifting to the left. But again, remember, it's x minus c, right? So that minus, a lot of times people will confuse that with being negative or positive. But we're actually looking for just the value of C inside those parentheses. So we'll kind of look at some examples and I'll see what I'm talking about. So how do we figure these transformations? Well, we don't need to know what the graphs look like. We just need to be able to put it into this format, okay? So what we're going to do is, first thing we're going to do is I'm going to put the x in front of the 5. So I'm going to rewrite this as a -5 or negative x plus 5, right? Then I got to factor out the b. You got to have this factored out form. If this has a coefficient, you have to factor it out. So y equals e to the negative x minus 5, okay? So again, if you think about this c as like in parentheses here, you can think about this as e to the negative 1, right? X minus 5. Okay, so you can think about this. So what is a negative doing? Well, if it's a negative on the inside, if b is negative, then that's going to be a reflection. So we can say reflect the y-axis. Okay, so if you have a negative inside the function, that's a reflection about the y-axis. And then since my 5 is positive, that's going to be 5 to the right. Okay, so you're shifting 5 to the right. So a lot of students will think, oh, it's negative. No, it's not really negative. It's x minus 5 right there. All right, this one, same thing. We got to factor out the 7. Well, how do you factor out a 7 from a 5? Well, same way you do with the negative, right? What we're going to do is we're actually going to create a fraction here. So I'm going to factor out the 7, and that's going to leave me with an x plus a 5/7. Now, again, if you're not sure if I did that correctly, just multiply the 7 back, right? 7 times x is 7x. 7 times 5/7 is just going to equal 5, right? Okay. So now we can see here we have a 7. Since 7 is larger than 1, it is a horizontal compression. Okay. So we have a horizontal compression in that case. So we have a horizontal compression of 7. And then we have the 5/7. Now you might say, well, how do we understand this? Well, again, you can think about this like this. Actually, let me rewrite this down. So if I want to rewrite this as x minus 7, I'd read it like this. Y equals a cosine of 7 times the x minus a negative 5/7. Right? Because wouldn't you guys agree a negative minus a negative is the same thing as a positive? So we have horizontal compression of 7, and then we have a shifting left 5/7 because it's a negative. And there you go. Well, thank you. I appreciate that. And Carl, see you later. Try auto session. Going through on there. Thank you so much. Appreciate all you guys. Thank you. Bye. You're the best. Appreciate it. Thank you. Good hair. Baldies. I hate baldies. Are this. All right, guys. Have a great one. I'll see you next week on Saturday, 9 p.m. Cheers.